Hello my dear friends, I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a licensed business immigration and a corporate attorney in Miami, Florida. Today I'm going to be discussing 5 top reasons why your L1 visa may be denied. At the end of this video, you'll be able to learn how to get a free evaluation of your case from myself. Let's do this. My friends, I noticed that only 60% of you that watch my video subscribe to my channel. Please do subscribe to my channel so I know that the time that I spent on this is not lost. I'm doing it for you. I'm creating a lot of free content, so please subscribe and we both benefit. And also smash the like button so I know that you are interested in the business immigration and you want me to create more content on business-related visas. Okay, in short, let's remember what is L1 visa. L1 visa is opening up a startup or purchasing an existing business in the United States of America that is affiliated with your company outside of the United States of America. For example, you have business in Italy, you have a restaurant, and you want to open up a restaurant here in the States and transfer yourself from the managing position in the restaurant in a managing position in the US restaurant and scale it and grow it. If this is the case, L1 visa is just for you. And one little remark, that your business in the United States of America does not have to be the same as back in your country. So in my previous example, if you have a restaurant, you don't have to have a restaurant here. You may open up an ice cream parlor, or you may produce goods or sell services. It doesn't really matter as long as I can show that your experience on a managing or executive position outside of the States can be translated for the business in the United States. If you want to know more details on this visa, please watch my prior videos where I describe the criteria for this visa and I explain the details and the process of how to apply and how to get it. This video is specifically 5 top reasons why you may get a denial. Reason number 1, you do not have enough employees in your foreign business. It's really important to work with experienced attorney with L1 visas or whatever visa you want to do. Why? Because certain things and certain ways the USCIS is looking at the petition is not written into the law. The law says one thing and USCIS adds its own policies how they treat that law. As long as it doesn't go beyond the law and it could be challenged in the court, this is perfectly fine. So the way the immigration services look at the number of people in the business is actually connected to the second reason why you may get a denial for this visa, which I'm going to describe later. But still, we have to show that you are a manager or an executive. If you don't know the difference, maybe L1 visa is not for you. But manager is the one who manages a certain department in the company or generally manages the company. The executive, a person who is responsible for strategic development of the company. Let's make an example. If you have a company with a few departments, let's say one of them is marketing department, one of them is sales department. Each department may have its own managers, right? So a manager of the marketing department and a manager of the sales department, and they have people under their control. That way we can show that whoever is above the managers of the departments are either managers also or executives. For example, if you have directors managing your company as well, the managers can be under control of directors and directors report to CEO of the company. CEO and director in this company may possibly get the L1 visa because we can show that they are in a managing or executive position. The manager of the department is not, because they manage only operational or administrative employees. So they don't manage the managing people. And this is very important. You have to manage other managing people or executive people, depending on where you are. So if we don't have at least 12 to 15 people in your company outside of the States, it's almost impossible to prove that you are doing what you're doing. You know the stories, your friend told you the story, you read on forum, and Google told you, and I know the stories that we got L1 visas for the company with less than that. However, in my opinion, those are high-risk petitions, and I would ask you to get at least 12 to 15 people, not to get denial on this basis. So the second reason reason, you cannot show that you are a top manager or the executive of your company. Stanislav, what about functioning manager? Okay, if you ask that question to yourself or to me, you did your research, you did your analysis, it's very good, it's very impressive. It's true that a functional manager does not have to have people under his or her control. However, the infrastructure of the company should be such that everything else that needs to be done is being done by other employees. Who could be a functional manager? For example, executive position in the company who is responsible for negotiating and signing the large contracts. So you don't have to have an employee to do this work. You can do it by yourself, and because you're in a senior position, you have the power to change the terms and sign those contracts. But if you don't have, let's say in this example, it's a manufacturer, if you don't have the production, if you don't have the sales department, if you don't have the logistics department, if you don't have the finance department, we won't be able to prove that you're a functional manager, even though you do the higher level of things in the company. So functional manager is separate. In 90% of the cases, we're dealing with people who control other people. So only managers, top managers and executive positions control other people. We need to have a 3 level of control for the person who is being transferred from the foreign company, and the foreign company is the one that's outside of the States, to the United States. With the executive position, the director who reports to CEO, who has the manager of the marketing department, is going to satisfy the criteria of the executive because it's the executive position and there is a manager or managers. Maybe that position is responsible for 2 or 3 departments in the company, and there is a 3-way structure. So the person executive himself, the manager, and the other employees in the department. If the marketing department is huge, like for example in my company I have 10 people in the marketing department, right? So maybe one person is not enough to manage all these people. Maybe within the marketing department you have a manager, then other project managers and people under the control of the project managers. In this case, the marketing manager could also be transferred to the United States of America, because now we have 3-way control under this manager. So manager himself, the project managers, and the third one is the regular employees who's doing the actual work. It's very common to get a denial. We cannot prove that you are in this top position. And also, don't forget, and of course you'll probably watch my prior video about the L1 criteria, we not only have to show that you are a manager or executive, we actually have to prove it, as funny as it may sound. And we need to produce all the paperwork showing how exactly you perform your duty. But this is for a separate video, but you have to know that you have to prove your position, first of all, to me, so I could prove it to the immigration officer. Number 3, lack of adequate financing of your American business. Of course, if you already have a working operations in the United States of America and you're just transferring yourself or your employee or somebody in your company to manage function or certain department of the company, there's no problem with funding because that company is already operational and there is no need for additional capital. However, if it's a new office, it's a startup business, which is one of the options for L1 visa, you actually have to prove, and I have to show that to the immigration officer, that you have adequate funding capitalization of that company. Stanislav, how much money do I need to have to start the L1 visa so it satisfies the criteria of financing? Well, there is no certain answer to this question because each business is different. However, I can give you a few insights so you have an idea. First of all, and most importantly, that number is going to be shown in your business plan, and we're going to talk about business plan a little bit later. So basically, the amount of money you have to have in your American company is enough for the company to break even in the future. Whenever you create a business plan for your operations, you need to make sure that all the expenses and everything you do to invest in the company is going to be enough until the company is going to start making money and break even, right? To be able to support itself. $50,000, it's 50. If it's 100K, it's 100K. If it's 2, I don't know. It depends how big is your idea, how big is your business, what exactly you do, but that should be enough to support the company at least for the first year, or even if it's less, show it in the business plan that you can start making enough money. And it's very common when immigration officer says, well, it doesn't really seem that your finance is adequate to support your operations in the year 1 because your business plan says ABC and we have XYZ and they don't match. So make sure that finance is adequate. If you had to put me in the corner and put a gun to my head and say, Stanislav, give me the number, I would say it doesn't really make sense to start L1 visa if you have less than $100,000 to $150,000. It doesn't mean that you will spend that amount, maybe you'll spend only 50 or 60 or 80 out of this, but to be on the safe side and to have a good cushion for unexpected, unforeseen things, this is the amount I would start. If you would ask how much should you have to purchase an adequate business for L1 visa, lower line is $250,000, but realistically probably $400,000 to $500,000 and more. Right? So those are the numbers from my practice, from my experience. I'm doing this more than 7 years, and that's the way it is. Number 4, bad business plan. And again, you see, everything is interconnected in those 5 reasons. Business plan is a must for a startup business for L1 visa. And sometimes even for the existing business, if it doesn't completely satisfy the criteria to get an L1 visa. You need to make sure that your business plan conforms to the standards in the industry here in the States. In the case with my clients, we work with the professionals here in the States. They speak all languages in the world who can help you to create a good business plan. They will charge you probably between $1,500 to $2,200. They will do great work to show your idea on the paper, what you have on your mind. And of course, maybe about 10% of my clients create the business plans themselves. I have nothing against it as long as it's the way the immigration officer wants. I'll give you the templates. I'll show you things that you need to pay attention to, but we'll have no responsibility for that, right? So make sure your business plan is good. The numbers do match. It's realistic, because sometimes I see the business plans and, you know, I'm not a business consultant, but I already can see that some things don't click. Either the demands are too high or the expectations are too low, very high numbers with the millions within first years. You know, it should be realistic. And also very important to match your business plan with the descriptions of your US business, because sometimes I see discrepancies, and that means that there is no single line, there is no single understanding. So make sure everything matches and your business plan is good and realistic. And reason number 5, you don't claim that your business will have enough personnel at the end of year 1, year 3 or year 5 to support your American operations. And especially this applies to the new offices, to the new startup, because it's a 1-year visa and then we have to extend it, to renew it. And it's critical to have 5 people under your control at the end of year 1 and 8 people under your control at the end of year 3. Stanislav, my business does not need that many people. I need only maybe 2-3 persons and I'll be making good money. I don't need all that. Well, if this is your case, then L1 visa is not for you, because L1 visa is only for those who will manage other people. L1 visa does not care if you make money or you don't make money. Of course, it's important, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is that you're either manager or executive, and you're gonna either manage other people or manage a function of the company. And like I said before, to manage a function of the company, you still have to have a lot of people. Stanislav, I read on forum, on Google, this attorney told me, I have a friend, I heard, bum, 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 bum. I also read, somebody told me, and I also had my cases where I extended L1 visa with 3 employees after the first year, and I extended with 5 employees after the 3rd year. However, those are very high risk petitions. Like I told you in the very beginning, if you have less than 12 to 15 people. So if you're willing to risk, well, when everybody understands the risk, this is not a problem. However, if that's not what you're looking at, please consider maybe E2 visa, maybe O1 visa. Watch my other videos, I'll give you more details. So guys, smash the like button if you like the content of this video. I really put a lot of time into this, so if you like my videos, it encourages me to create more content. And if you think you qualify for L1 visa, please go down below this video and fill out the questionnaire that I prepared for you, very detailed. Answer every question in detail, and I'll give you a free evaluation of your case within 48 hours, something that other attorneys call a consultation, and charge you $300. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Instagram. Shamaev Business Law. You'll find the links below this video. Subscribe to my TikTok, a lot of good, entertaining and actual content that's going to help you to understand the visas. The links also below this video. This was Stanislav Shamaev, the lawyer of your future. Your future starts here. Good luck.